Leftovers, why?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've tried a lot of different things to date. One thing I haven't tried is Joe's leftovers. So what if my future, my destiny lies in your past? See what I'm saying? It sounds scumbaggy, and it is, but at the same
It's
time,
very scumbag.
when you
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
Welcome. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't look at your
that's
face.
the exact opposite of episode 10. I want you to know that. Episode 10 was welcome guys and thank you for tuning in. Now it's welcome. I can't come all the way to the camera because my mic is here. So
The way you did it was hilarious. So,
what it looks like when you do it.
oh God, I'm sorry. God damn, that was funny the way you did that shit. Welcome everybody to episode. Is this episode 11?
Yes.
What
Now
I
the
was
real
gonna say
11.
12. I was gonna say 12 for some reason.
Because technically if we didn't number the New Year's Eve episode, the New Year's resolution episode, that's why. So that's why it's throwing us off.
Right, you're right.
We were trying
You
to
are right.
Jesus
You're
Christ.
right.
We were trying to thank God it's like 3D glasses like right in front of my freaking face. Like I felt it on my freaking nose. That's what she said too.
Oh
But
God.
yeah, we were trying to what's the word I want to use? We were trying to delay for the tenth episode for the Man Council, which hasn't happened yet, so that's the reason why.
Yeah. Well,
It'll
anyway,
happen. It'll happen. When it happens, it'll be glorious.
it'll happen when it happens. When it happens, it happens. And when it happens, it will happen.
Fantastic. Who the heck are
Anyway,
you?
a complete different person than what you last spoke to the last time. But I digress. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and checking us out for the episode 11 and a half or whatever the fuck it is of the last of the nice guys because we are.
The last of the nice guys. Just see your intros change so much that I can't. It throws me off. All the other shows that I either host or produce have a set, solid intro. Now
You
this
know,
man has
I did the shit on
refused.
purpose.
He refused to have an outline for this podcast. So when I sit down here and I co-host with him, I don't know what I'm going to expect, except the episodes that I know that are my topics. But even then, I don't know what to expect. So
Oh,
don't mind my facial expressions if you're watching us on YouTube.com/Vibrant Studios, or my
uh,
lack of responses because I
uh,
literally don't know what I'm going to expect with this man. Okay, whose
and
name is
that's the
Joe.
best part about doing a podcast. You don't know what to fucking expect.
I
With
would
that
like
being,
I would like an outline, just so I
I
have.
no one cares what you want. So
Obviously,
with that being said, my name is Joe, and with me is my wonderful, amazing, and devilishly handsome co-host. His
of
name is
Jason.
Jason,
Yeah,
or
Jason.
AKA J, or AKA Dr. J. That was his old nickname from back
I
in the
haven't
day when
used
he
I haven't
first.
used I don't know if I can use that anymore because they closed down Dr. J's on Church Avenue, and I don't know what
Dr.
to.
Jason Church Avenue was a shithole. I don't know why you actually even brought your name into that when it came, even associated your name to that store.
Look, it's a hell of a
Yeah.
thing. Okay, it's like it's like a tantamount to me finding a store named Vibe. I'd be like, holy crap, that's my store, even if I never walk in there.
You know what's
So
funny? I still have your name on my contacts as Dr. J.
yeah, everybody from that time period does. They still call me. They still refer to me as Dr. J. Whenever I hear it, I get like a little spark in my heart saying, that was when you had potential. Good man.
Wow. And this, my friends, is why we have the podcast. From exactly why he just said. He just said I'm sorry, he said exactly whatever. Anyway, that's the reason why we're doing the podcast, because of
Lord.
that quote and comment that he just gave us. Anyway, thank you once again for the fourth time for tuning in, and we appreciate your I have to say, before I even go about with the
Joe is
intro.
stalling because this episode doesn't have a title or
No,
an
no,
actual
no. We
topic.
don't need a title and we don't need a topic, because I have a lot to talk about anyway, and it will just keep on. It will flow naturally. That's what she said. Naturally.
I hope you don't burn through like a bunch of topics that could actually be an episode on their own. I hope you know that.
No, it's just kind of like, I guess it's just kind of like one, maybe one and a half in regards to like what I want to talk about. In regards to topics. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna burn through a lot of topics, because that would be unfair to our viewers and our fans if I just went ahead and just said everything in 1 2 hour podcast, and then we just ended our podcast altogether. We wouldn't ever never do another podcast ever again. I wouldn't do that.
You
That
promise?
that's selfish. Why would I do that? I'm not selfish.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Me selfish? Well, come on. Anyway,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly this dick. Anyway, so so
It's right. It's
I
all right.
want
Joe's dick. Joe does allegedly have a dick. Yes,
I wanted I
absolutely
wanted
right.
to I wanted to uh I wanted to talk about something that I have been thinking about, and I guess this corresponds with well, I'm not entirely sure, and maybe you can help me out with this, Jay, if you will. I'm not entirely sure if this has anything to do with. Well, actually, it does, but maybe you can give me your opinion. It has anything to do with us being nice guys, but it does have. I guess it's still related in some sort of weird way, because I get, for the couples out there who are listening, I want to ask, and I want your opinion, and for this podcast in itself, this episode, maybe you can comment. Well, not maybe, hopefully you will comment on this video and give us feedback yourselves. I want to know that if, and this only, I guess, counts for relationships that are committed, or 3 to 5 years, or
Right.
however, for a very long time. The take on jumping, not even jumping, the take on moving from picking up yourselves as a couple, as a family, if you have kids, from one big city or town or whatever to another place that you want to, uh, 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 you know, um, pretty much live, but you want to start a new life in. And
Okay.
I want to know, and the reason why I'm asking this, because um, I spoke to Jay about this a couple of times, and we even came up with, hopefully, a plan in the future where we can like be neighbors,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
you be
Yeah.
neighbors, and I think that would be absolutely fucking amazing. And my
Him with his wife and his son, me with potentially my sons and my body pillow.
yeah, so he would be seeing a lot of nasty things in the on the in through the window across the
No, no,
street.
no, no. I already follow her Instagram, so I don't know. It's okay. Oh, who are
Anyway,
you talking about? Sorry, who are you talking about?
I don't know who you talking about, because that
Oh,
was
you know who I'm talking about.
but hello, we're not even.
He goes, "Ah." I'm sorry. If I don't bring her up every other podcast, I feel like I haven't done my job.
Oh my God, man. I swear to God, if the people that I know watch this podcast, which they do, I'm in so much shit. I probably get talked about on a regular basis when it comes to that in itself.
Uh huh.
But that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um I probably get so much shit talked behind my back when it comes to that I don't even know.
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, okay, granted, it's a podcast, and we can speak about whatever we want,
Right.
and we go ahead and we blurt out our thoughts and feelings, and we rant and we get our frustrations out. But
Right.
amongst those many things and feelings that we speak about, that topic or that person, I should say, um, I always, and between me and you, I always try to like.
Between me and you and the people that are all listening, yeah, you forget.
I keep forgetting that we're doing this. That's live.
He's like between me and you. I'm like and like the 2000 that listen. Are you crazy?
This is how this is why me and Jay have such a great relationship, because I usually just talk about these things with him personally. But since we're live and we're talking to all of you millions of fans out there, I can honestly say millions. I can honestly say I can honestly say that I kind of don't want to like think about
Right.
as much, only because I feel like it's wrong. I don't know why. I feel wrong about doing it. I
I
feel wrong.
You know what? You know what? I respect that only because it was the last major hurdle before your current happiness, and
Right.
so and it meant that much to you at the time, and no matter what, it's gonna be a part of your heart. Not necessarily her, but that's gonna be a part of your heart forever. So because it meant that much to you, whenever you bring it up and you're reminded that it's still there, you feel some kind of way, and that's I get it. I respect that. I absolutely respect. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm bitter. Like I'm
No,
not gonna. Yeah, I'm not.
it's
Cause
not about being bitter or even dwelling upon it or even saying or pining after the past. It's just that it was a significant moment in your life that you can never get back, and it's gonna be a part of you forever. It informed who you are now. So I know what you're talking about. I absolutely
right,
know what you're talking about.
right. So that's why I think I actually think it's hilarious when you bring it up, because you of all people that I know have the best reactions to this person, and by far I in the past like 4 years, I think it's been, you have been such a hilarious dude when it came to that.
Yeah.
It had literally, I talk about this with my other friends sometimes, and it is the funniest thing because I always end up laughing in the middle of the stories that me talk about. I can never finish them because it's so fucking hilarious, the reactions to this. But anyway, um, yeah, but I'm not bitter towards it. I just think that because in such a good place right now, with my fiance, I
Right.
feel like speaking about things that had happened in the past, especially that huge thing, that huge moment in my life. I feel like my conscience for some reason is telling me,
No, I get
hey,
it. I
hey,
get it.
shut the fuck up. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about you. You know,
Yeah.
I thought because yeah, here's the thing, and I brought up the last podcast and before. Like my studio is and everything that comes out of my studio, including this podcast, a huge part of my life. The studio's been going on for 10 years. But no matter what yeah, 10 years. It was officially August that I officially coined the name Vibration Studios, but the concept of the studio began back in January 2010 because it coincides with a huge heartbreak with a woman that I thought was my soulmate. I thought she was the one. You know what I'm trying to say? So every time every time I sit here at the studio, I'm reminded every once in a while that this wouldn't be happening had she not broke your heart on that boat.
Absolutely. Right.
But and I can't imagine getting as far deep with a woman as you are, having her be here, right? And let's say we're living together, I'm still gonna be doing my studio work, but it's like doing my studio work is like having a shoebox full of your ex's stuff, hidden underneath your bed,
Absolutely.
while above you you're laying with your new woman. Because no matter what I say,
Absolutely.
this studio exists for one reason alone. It was a heartbroken Jason who needed to fill that hole that this girl left in his heart with something, and he created this whole thing just to
Yep.
fill that hole. Is that hole
Yep.
still there? No, it's filled up. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that that's the origin story of the studio. And no, any woman that comes into my life, as long as I'm still doing my studio, may or may not know that this is a reaction to a girl that meant that much to me. and that I've just turned into something more. So
Absolutely.
I can't imagine, dude, being in your place, having a fiance, and running this studio while she's cooking over there, and not saying, "Damn, you know, if this chick knew that the reason why I'm doing this is because some girl broke my heart X number of years ago, and I thought she was my soulmate, and I thought I was never gonna find love like that again," she'd be like, I don't know how she'd feel about me sitting here doing my working hours upon end. Because you say, okay, well, if you started the studio to fill a hole in your heart, but now you have me, why are you still working so hard in your studio? Are you
Some
still
women actually
dwelling?
don't care about it though.
You know, and you would hope they do. That you would hope they don't. You would hope they don't. But
I would
I
hope,
get what you're
but
saying. I get what you're
yeah,
saying. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how it'd feel being with somebody still working on this studio as hard as I do, knowing why the studio exists. So,
I feel a little you know what's funny though? You mentioned like having to do the podcast when you're in like a committed having to do this especially this one
oh
to
yeah.
while you're in a committed relationship, and it's like I it's funny because I remember the first beginning episodes that we were doing back
Uh-huh.
when I was living at my old place. Hilarious enough, I tried doing it like the episode like 2 or 3 or 4 while I had my woman in the other room.
Oh
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
suffice to say, and I think we actually, even when I was doing Geek Bros as well, I would do it while she was in the other room, and suffice to say, it wasn't that good. Like my reactions and my characteristics while being on air.
Because you stifle yourself. Of course, you stifle
Right.
yourself because she's around.
And my thing is that like if she again, I'm not gonna go ahead and like knock her because I would never do that, and I don't
No, of
want to.
course not. No, 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 no.
But
We all have a person. We all have the way we are with our spouse, the way we are with our homeboys, the way we're at home, the way we're at work. So no, you're not saying that at all. What you're saying is that you are a particular kind of Joe or a modified Joe when you're with her. Not to say that you're different or that you're shady, but everybody does this. Everybody modifies themselves when there was the Jason with his kids is not the Jason with his homies. Who's not the one with the classic example. Jason on this podcast is different from Vibe on Geek Bros, which is different from Jason on Healthy Parenting, which is
yes,
and you keep going like these are all parts of my personality, but I isolate certain parts at certain times. The phrase "a time and a place for everything." So no, I get what you're saying.
right. So with that being said, oh sorry. With that being said, I I I tend to like lock up, or I did lock up
Right.
when it came to like doing the podcast in front of her. And now, and especially with the Last of the Nice Guy podcast, like we're not talking about a lot of things that we talk about, and a lot of the comments and jokes that we say are not always pertaining to like like certain things that certain topics. Sometimes we might divert and talk about like past shit, and when the past shit comes up, I don't want to be talking about all that in front of her.
Of
And
course.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not again like we just spoke about, like what you said. I'm not. It's not me being a certain way, and
No.
I'm not being sneaky. It's just
No.
that, yeah. It's just that we go ahead and we talk about these things because it's funny to us.
Yes.
B, it's like a rant. We rant and we get our frustrations out and we get
Yeah.
all of our and C, it's more of like a we talk about how much we've grown,
Exactly. Exactly.
and our past mistakes, because a lot of the shit that we've been through, and I know you agree with me, are, I guess, mistakes, but they're good learning mistakes. Like we've learned from them.
Accidents, mistakes,
I will.
lapses in
I'll
judgments.
I'll call them a lot of mistakes for me, at least. At least for
Right.
me.
Oh,
I'll,
I made a few. I made a few. Yeah.
you made a few, or you feel like you made
Made a
more
few.
than a few?
I made a few.
He's avoiding. That's why he's looking
I
up and down.
I made a few. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, this guy, I know him so well. When he says few, it means many. But we no, but that's okay, dude. We both. I probably have made more than you. I had to have made more than you.
I don't think so. I think me and you are neck and neck. I think we made the exact same amount.
Well,
The difference is now is that I think I'm gonna surpass you because you've reached your end. You reached your goal.
I'm
You're done.
finished.
And Big Daddy here seems to be on some kind of like full moon, kick me in the ass renaissance with women. So Like, yeah, I'm gonna probably double it before, and that's even if I. And unfortunately, the Big Daddy here, he doesn't seem like getting married anymore. It doesn't seem like it's in his cards anymore. So yeah,
I I feel like that comment is gonna bite you in the ass one day.
I'm done. I can't finish.
I feel like it's gonna bite you in the ass one day.
I'm so
I don't think so. Well,
Yeah.
you because at some point, and this is not being me pitying. I'm not forever alone. Shut the fuck up. No, what I am saying though is that some things just aren't in the cards for some people. And when I sit down and I really evaluate who I am, where I am, what I've been through, and the way I'm feeling, I don't think marriage was ever in the cards for me. I don't I think I fell ass backwards into having kids and I made it work, but I don't think marriage was or long-term commitment was ever in the cards for me. You know what I'm saying? And I've come to that conclusion. So I don't see myself getting married. I don't see myself in a very long-term relationship anymore. Doesn't mean I'm not going to date. I'm not going to try, but it's no longer on my list. Like, oh, wife, more kids, a daughter, a house. No, it's not that anymore.
But do you feel like do you even have like a shred of hope that that might change?
It's a dream now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a dream. You dream to get the Lamborghini. You have a dream to win the lotto. I put that now in the realm of dreams and fantasies, where
Right.
it's not impossible. It's just improbable for me right now, or period. So I don't. It's not impossible, because you can win the lotto. You can get the Lamborghini. These are things aren't impossible,
You
but
can, but it won't
but
happen.
but it is super improbable, and that's where it is now. For me, it's up there with winning the lotto. It's up there with being a business owner. It's up there with being super wealthy and be able to do what I want. And then it's being married. It's all in the same category for me. Is that
This was my dream, by the way.
what?
My dream was to have us both be married without children. I don't even know if you want any more children. Do you want more children?
Again, again,
what?
again. It's a dream now. Like at one point, I'm like, I'm gonna have a baby girl. That's it. I need one. I deserve one. And I just need to find somebody's womb. Now
Right.
it's if it
Find
happens,
somebody.
now if it happens, it happens. Great, but I'm not expecting it. It's not required anymore. I don't see because I have teenagers now, dog. I had a 15 and 14-year-old. I'm thinking about this. Do I want to start all over again? Now
I mean,
it's
you're not like 60
I'm
though.
not an old man. I'm not. And I started young. But the fact of the matter is, I am now dealing with teenage issues. Do I want to mix teenage issues and young adult issues
With
with
the
a
infants.
toddler? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, holy shit. Their mom had more kids, but logically a couple of years after. So she's fine. She doesn't have a moment where she didn't have a toddler. Right now she's what, a 6-year-old, I think. I don't know. Who cares? Me, I have
It's okay.
it's been a decade since I had a toddler, since I had a preschooler.
Oof.
That's a long time. So if it happens, don't get me wrong. Hmm. But am I gonna work toward it? No. Do I expect it? No.
Well,
Is it required? No.
when you say it happens, though, like, are you saying it'll happen with like a girl that you meet to tomorrow? Like you meet a girl, like you've been talking to a girl for like a month.
When I say that when I
Meet
say if it
her,
happens,
accidentally she gets preggo.
so that's what I'm saying. It could be like that. It could be planned. It could be unplanned. When I say if it happens, it could be a one night stand, or it could be a girl I've been with for 2 years and it happens. If it happens, cool. But I'm not. It's no longer part of in my cards. It's no longer a part of the plan. It's no longer required. I no longer require or expect to have a baby girl. I don't even know if I even want one anymore. Sometimes now I think about it.
Well, you can live off my like you can
I live vicariously through you. That's my point.
because I'm gonna have one.
Because I live vicariously through Holly by the babysitting of her child who's
Oh
turning
yes, right,
3.
right.
So I've done it.
He's hilarious. That baby's hilarious.
That
The,
he's
vi-
hilarious. And
the videos, the videos that you post,
Oh yeah,
used to post. Oh my god.
yeah, yeah.
I
'Cause
would say,
I haven't babysat him in a minute. Like I've been telling her, that I need to have him once a month. So we're working out a schedule. But yeah, I live vicariously through that. If I In a perfect world, I'll date a woman who has a baby girl, and I can just like live through that. But other than that, me procreating again is so slim. And don't get
I
me
had
wrong,
a
my seed is strong, but nope.
I had a question that was asked about of me. Actually, my my fiance asked me this question about like last month. I think it was a random like conversation we were having. I forget the topic because I always forget the topics that we talk about. But um, we I literally forget them all the time. But we were talking, and she was like, in the middle of the conversation, I guess there was like a heated conversation or a debated one. She was like, how would you still have been with me if I had a child myself? And what's funny is that I have, again, we talk about the past like we normally do in every podcast, but again,
Yep.
I have dated uh a woman who had a child. And at that, the child was like 2, I think. Very
Right.
like still
Yeah.
real super young, like 2 or 3 years old. And I'll never forget her. Like she was actually she her personality was so outgoing, so like laid back, but at the same time like spiritual, laid back, in your face, but at the same time she was like, I know what I want. That type of chick. I
Right.
know what I want, and I know for a fact that because when we were talking and dating, she was like, "Look, you have what I need, you have what I want. We're making this happen."
Right.
She
But you're
was like,
white. Oh, I'm sorry.
"And you're an asshole," but she she was she was basically me. Uh, back when I was like, I guess in my, I want to say like middle to late, well, middle 20s, because
Right.
I met this girl towards when I think just about hit 28 or 29. I want to say, I think, because I was working 2 jobs that time, hustle, 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 and one of the nighttime jobs I had was a retail store called Club Monaco. Club Monaco is actually still open. Actually, it's on like on Fifth Avenue in the city. Really good store by the way, but very expensive. And we there was like a bunch. There was a whole cast of like employees. We had like at least like 40 to 50 fucking employees in like
Oh
this
my
two
God.
floor this 2 floor retail store on the corner of Fifth Avenue and like 35th, whatever it was. But it was fun, and it was a wide array of like different types of people. And she was, I forgot her name, man, but I don't want to say it though on air in case like she actually is listening. But she was like so different though. I think she was a Hispanic girl, and but her approach with things was like, again, very direct. Like, you are the person that I have been looking for, and I need to have you. And what's funny is I felt like I was dating me for a minute. my, no, and I kid, Jay, I kid you not, my mentality.
What's her social media?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't even
Oh, you
remember.
don't know it really?
Funny, I think if I can,
Dying to see what this girl looks like
I know I got it. Maybe I'll send it to you off the air.
if you
If I can,
find it.
yeah, if I find it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, you need to. I'm dying to see what she looks like. I'm very curious.
yeah, if I
Maybe slip into her DM. Who knows?
why though? Why
Because
do you want leftovers?
here's
Why
the
do you
thing.
want
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
leftovers? Why?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've tried a lot of different things to date. One thing I haven't tried is Joe's leftovers. So what if my future, my destiny lies in your past? See what I'm saying? It sounds scumbaggy, and it is, but at the
It,
same
it's
time,
very
when
scumbag.
you get to a point that you've exhausted all as many options as you have for dating, you have to
Right.
start thinking outside the box, and you can't get any more outside the box than your best homies sloppy seconds. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, I'm actually gonna send you something right now. By the way,
Is it hot?
um, well, no, I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram because I just. It's funny is I put her name in the search,
Uh
but
huh.
it's definitely not her, but it's probably somebody that you'd want to look at on a regular basis, knowing you. and your creepy ass. But I was like, yeah, it's definitely his type, right? Um, it's not actually. I put it on the list of the nice guys, so it's over there. But yeah, I wanted to. I just felt like I was dating myself for a minute when I was talking to her and dating her. And it was so weird and abstract. Like it was more. It's like her views and her and what she wanted and everything was so direct. It literally sounded like me. It sounded like me. And what's funny is to make matters even worse is that I went ahead and I remember having the same mentality for the last person, which I'm
Right,
not.
exactly. I
Right.
just
And I had the same mentality because I think I understood exactly why she was doing that and where she came from because it was like, damn, this guy has something that I've been desiring and wanting for a while. So I need to get it. I want to get it. It's that mentality of you like this person so much because they have the qualities that you were looking for that you want that. You need to have it. Um, which I think is flattering. I think I felt flattered at that time, but I was so much of an asshole and a dickhead that I kind of like diverted a lot of her feelings towards me to like just plain old um physical stuff, which I
right,
don't
of
I
course.
don't even need to tell you what physical means, but
I
you know,
don't know. Why don't you? Maybe you should just like give me a hint.
oh, it means when you touch fingers towards with each other,
Oh,
and then like
sexual relations.
yeah, like on some ET type moment
I
bullshit.
love sexual relations.
Yeah, of course you do. You're such a fucking freak. But anyway, um,
Yeah, why I gotta be a freak for you? You 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 mean man.
I wanted yeah, me mean. That's another quote I've heard lately. Me being mean. Apparently I'm mean all of a sudden. But anyway, let me just stop because I do sound bitter a little bit. No, but I wanted to ask you like, how would you feel? You're with somebody for 3 to 5 years, 3 to 10 years, 5 to 10 years, whatever the case is. How would you feel picking up your stuff from Miami, Florida? Which I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just shouted out where he lives, which I think you actually mentioned in a
Yeah, we
podcast.
did. We mentioned it
Yeah,
very many times. South Florida and New
he,
York. So
he
yeah, that's
lives
where we are.
in Alabama.
You don't even know where I live.
I don't. I fucking don't. But how would you feel about picking up your stuff, knowing that you've been where you are for like a long, long time, meeting somebody, and then going ahead and like moving to another location, whether it be West Coast or even out of the country? Would you feel like comfortable? Would you feel would
I
would
would
would,
say
would you want to start a new life?
I would
And
say why not? I would say why not? Some people say, okay, well, we can't move into your apartment. We need to move into our own apartment to start over again, right? That's that's just taking that idea to a different level. You know what I'm saying? So if you equate, okay, well, we're getting together. Let's move out of your place. Let's move into our place. If you hyper intensify that, um, moving away moving away from the city that you lived in or that she lived in and moving to a new location, starting brand new with a different setting, that is the dream, I would say, for most people. I mean, whether they want to admit it or not, why wouldn't you want to pick up and go and start a new life with somebody very important to you somewhere different, where you don't walk by the coffee shop where you got drop kicked by a girl, in fifth grade, where, you know what I'm saying, like,
the
you're
drop
building.
girl? Wow.
No, just, well, maybe. So, but the point of the matter is, though, is that you'd be in a new area, so everything is new. Everything is you guys' memories. There is no, it was great when we went to this spot and had coffee. Wait, that wasn't with me. Oh yeah,
Right,
babe, this
right.
this is a great coffee spot. We should go. You won't have that situation because you're gonna be in a new place, and you'll be able to experience new first time memories with somebody, and without the past being held over you. Absolutely, I would be absolutely on board with that if I ever get to that point, which will never
And
happen.
and then the reason why I'm asking, he said, which will never happen. It will happen. Maybe not with somebody, maybe just by yourself, but it will happen. Um,
Thank you, Joe.
you're welcome. So
Cathartic,
I
cathartic.
it had to be sentimental. I'm only asking you this and telling you this because so I've been thinking a lot lately, actually for about a year. maybe even more, but not as much as I have been in this past year, about
Your
moving out of.
sexuality. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong topic. This is not that topic. Sorry. That's next episode.
So this is why I love this guy because he's such an asshole,
You
but
should look at his face. He's just so tired. He's just
so
like his eyes like his tone is mellow, but his eyes are screaming "fuck you, bro."
I you know what's funny? That's exactly what I'm saying in my head.
Yeah,
Um
I know. We
so
were here. We're here.
so I'm only saying this and I'm asking this only because like I have been contemplating and feeling this way for a while when it comes to moving out of New York. I don't I don't hate New York. It's not that I despise it. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I will forever be a Brooklyn kid.
La
No matter,
bouche.
no matter, right, exactly. Flatbush, Utica, the fucking Delavan, Utica. I will,
Utica.
Utica, Flatbush. I will always be a Brooklyn kid till till I die, as they say.
Right.
But I just have to say that like I don't know if it's because economically it's just not working out, financially it's not working out, or just you're just getting sheer the boredom of it. I think it's a combination of all three, and we spoke about this.
Yeah.
And I think it is a combination of all three, to be honest with you, because like let me break it down real quick. One, economically, um, the job market here, even though people say you can get a job like this, you can't. That's bullshit. Financially, Brooklyn is becoming literally the Manhattan Part 2, 2.0.
Right.
I know you haven't been here in a while, Jay, in terms of like living, but it is. Prices are going skyrocket. That's why it's so hard to fucking date over here because like, how can you afford certain things for your significant other? Even if you're just starting a date, makes it even worse. What are you
Right.
supposed to do? Take this woman out to a 5-star restaurant for a first date? Because, but guess what? That's what they expect you to do, right?
Wrong podcast. Wrong podcast.
Wrong podcast. Yeah, wrong podcast. But
Wrong episode. Wrong episode.
so that's what I'm saying. Like this is the reason why I feel like this topic in general can correlate with everything that we're talking about in terms of like dating and starting a family, getting married, yada yada yada. This is everything combined into one because we know, oh, at least I know that I can't continue, especially for people who are like in my position, being committed or about to get married, who are married, can sustain a livable, a comfortable life in a place like this. Everything boils down to how happy you are when it comes. Well, I know I should say everything boils down to it. I should say that everything kind of can correlate to you, pretty much living where you're living and
Right.
and happy you are. So my I tell people all the time, I love New York. I'm tired of it. I don't like it no more. It's getting really boring. It's becoming too expensive. I think that moving someplace else will not only help me as a man and individual, but it will help my family as well because now my happiness can pretty much, as cliche as dumb as it sounds, it can pretty much spread to them. And now they can see how happy I am when it comes to moving because I always express this to my
See,
fiance.
I think
I've
I
always
think
expressed it to my
that
family.
there's nothing wrong with what you're saying. I mean, I visited New York just last month, and I was there for 5 days. And by day three, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go back. I'm done. I'm pretty much done. I'm over it. And and even though I'm semi excited that I'll be up there again twice in April, I'm also like saying, I know for a fact that after day two, I'm going to be done and I'm going to want to go back home. So I get what you're saying, but in my opinion, I think that you don't have to explain yourself. Like everything you're saying is factual, but in reality, you have just earned out the right to have a change of scenery. That's really what it is, and that's really what you should focus on. It's that yeah, it's more expensive. Yeah, it's gentrification. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, you've lived there all your life. You just said it. You have earned the right to
To move.
change. Yes, to move, to change your atmosphere, to give yourself something new, to give yourself, God forbid, a breath of fresh air. You're being stifled. Right now, it's like somebody's smothering you with a pillow.
Thank you. Exactly. That's been
So that's
happening
what it is.
to
So what I'm
me.
trying to say is that no, every reason you listed is fine, but you're explaining it away. But you shouldn't have to feel the need to. The reality is you've been there long enough. It's time for a change. That's it.
Well,
It's as
yeah,
simple as that. It's time for a change. You
it
need to.
is. And I'm so glad that someone like you, this is why we are best friends. I'm so glad someone like you can understand. By the way, I'm sorry I had to mute my mic and yell at my 10-year-old because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
way too loud
Yeah.
in the
I
background.
see.
This is the reason why I say, folks, if you have, I'm going to speak to the mic. If you have children, okay, and you're doing a podcast, make sure they're not in the room so they
Exactly.
cannot talk loud. Anyway, I'm,
Exactly. Because it's funny
I,
because those who are watching us, if you're watching us on YouTube, all I see is this man. His eyes go wide, and all his that's all I see. And so, and mind you, I'm talking while he's doing this.
oh my God.
I'm trying to keep my shit together, keep the conversation going. While all I see is that's all.
I'm trying to be so professional, but it's so hard.
Dude, it is the funniest
Oh my God.
thing, you
Oh,
know.
I can't. This is the reason why your kids are 15 and mine's 10 still. Uh, I can't. This is so funny. But oh God, I looked like a crazy person just now.
You did, you
So
did. It was
I
great.
literally did. Like my eyes were so wide. I was so pissed. Uh, but back to what we were saying, the reason why I'm saying all this and we discussing this also, it's a two-sided coin to this conversation, to this topic. The other reason why I'm talking about this and why, and you hit it right on the nail, like it does feel stifling. It feels like I'm suffocating. And I'm not sure many people will understand this, and maybe a lot of people will. But I do feel like I'm suffocating. I feel like I am in a place where I shouldn't be feeling like this, but then again, because a lot of people in my position, they're happy where they are. They're happy about the place that they're at. They're happy because they have many reasons to want to stay.
Okay.
I
Do you believe that they're happy or they're content? Because happiness can be confused with being
both,
content. You know that. So because
both,
you can still smile and enjoy yourself, but you're only content. You know, pure
right.
happiness. I don't believe a lot of people are purely happy. I believe they think they are, but what they are, they're content. They're comfortable with their world, and they've made it the best they could, so they can express happiness. But it's not genuine happiness. You're content. So I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that what you mean real happiness or just I'm doing the best that I can, so I'm content and I'm smiling.
It's well, no, for me, well, yeah, you're right. I think it's a combination of both. I think, and the reason why I'm saying is because I'm actually a very lucky man. I have somebody who agrees with me to an extent in regards to moving. She wants to move. She has no issues with moving. She's 100% open for it, which to me, in my opinion, that's
Hmm?
great
That's the
because
keeper.
you want to know why? Because I feel like if she we've been together for 3 years, going on four. If she was
My
the
God,
type of
it's a
person,
long time.
I know, man. Like
I
yeah,
still feel like she's brand new. It's really
I
weird.
know. It is weird. I can't believe. I really, I can't believe how quick the years have gone.
It's been freaking
It is
almost 4 years,
almost 4 years,
dude. Why do I
bro.
think it feels like it's still you're? It's wow, damn.
I know. I know.
So
I know.
when I met her, right? How long you guys were dating when I met her? When we went out to the silent club.
Was that when was that last year?
Was it? No, it wasn't last year. It was two
Yeah,
years
yeah, it
ago.
was.
It was last year. It
We're in
wasn't last
2020,
year. Yeah, it was in 2019. I didn't see you in 2019.
2018. You're right.
Yeah, so you guys were dating for like 2 years, pretty much when I met her. But I thought she was still brand new.
Wait, was it? Is it? Well, okay. It's three. Okay, I may be exaggerating a little bit. It's 3 years and maybe like a couple of months, or maybe like
Right, but still, 3 years,
month or
couple of months,
two.
4 years. The fact is that when I met her, it felt like
Yeah,
you guys only had just dated. But with your timeline, you guys had been together for over a year when I met her, so she wasn't new at all. Wow, time
yeah,
flies.
dude. I'm telling you. I literally, I remember New Year's Eve of 2016, of 2017, going in. Well, 2016 going to 2017, and that New Year's was the most memorable to me because of certain situations that happened.
Right.
I'm just thinking back right now. That was so embarrassing, but so fun at the same time. Oh my god, that was such a weird night. But anyway, no, I'm saying this because like she's on board with exactly what we want to do and what I want to
Right.
do, and she's open to moving. And the fact of the matter is that
Yeah.
if she was dead set on staying in New York for life, I don't know, Jay. Like that would be an issue.
That'd be a deal
That would be
breaker. Yeah.
that would be a huge issue because I can't I don't want to stay in New York and have myself and I will and be miserable and be as miserable because I know
Right.
I'm starting to feel that way. I've been feeling that way low key for about a year living here. I'm just and I've expressed this to her again. She's I'm blessed and lucky because she's the type of person to be like, you know what, when you and I get to a specific place, we can start looking for houses in different states. We just came back from London for 4.5 days. Well, 5 days. And she told me at least 3 to 5 times, I would live here. I would live here. I would live here. And we're talking about a whole nother country,
Yeah.
8 hours away. And to me, that was kind of shocking because I was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that from her. One.
Right.
Two, I was like, this is a whole nother country. It's not even another state,
Right.
country. So to me, it makes me happy to know that I'm with somebody who genuinely feels the same way I do in that category, in that sense. I feel relieved because I know that if I, in 2 years from now, if I contact you and was like, Jay, guess what? We closed on a house in like San Antonio. And you were like, oh yeah, well you know what? I'm coming along with you. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
I would just use your home as a base of operations before, so I can slowly but surely get myself settled there.
yeah, you can get the fucking the secret room that Harry Potter stayed in underneath the stairs.
Wow, that's. I would have said it's generous of you because usually I get the fuck out of here. That's what I would get. So the fact that you even offered me a staircase room, or closet or storage area, I should be grateful. That's a better response than I was expecting. Get the fuck
I
out of here.
of course I would never do that to you because you go ahead and you'd probably I would do that for you though. I would give you like a basement apartment or
No, what I
something
mean
like
by base of operations, meaning that I would fly in and I would stay for like a week or two there.
that's what
So
I'm
if
saying,
you
yeah.
wanted to go fly back to my base and back and forth until
Oh, you mean like that? That you meant
no, no,
like
no, no, not move in. No, no. A base of operations would be I'd be using you as a convenient point to stick around so I can like look for things, get some stuff, and then fly back and then come back, keep looking around, establish fly back.
that's
That's
what you
that's,
meant.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I was
like
thinking more along the lines of like we have like a 3-story house and the basement is a fully furnished, basement with everything in it, and you stay there until you eventually move next door to us, and then
we'll
there you
just
go.
sit there and wait until the that house is up for sale. Okay, good, 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 good. Here it is.
Yeah,
Here's
just start
cash.
going. Yeah, but that's my this is my
That's
this is my dream, and this is and my and I can honestly say that my other dream is to actually definitely move out of here. And I've been doing a lot of research.
right.
I've been looking up a lot of
Well, yeah, I know. You sent me Zillow stuff like immediately after we had a
like
discussion. Like,
testimonials from families, from
oh,
from like families, from single people, all saying how they just up and left a certain place, well, specifically New York, and moved out. And I wanted to know how their journey went. How did they go ahead and get to this point? What did they feel like? Was it hard? Was it nerve-wracking? What did you miss home? Did you miss your like all these questions that I wanted to understand and know from these people I got, which was great. It was a great feeling. So I'm really again I'm ready um for that commitment to just get up and move and leave. I think it would improve my overall mental health,
oh, of
and that's
course.
and that's a big thing when it comes to a lot of probably number one um priority when it comes to something like that, especially if you're in a relationship. Your mental
Right.
health has to be on top priority.
It's true.
And for me, moving out of New York would bring my mental health so much higher and so much in a positive way, so much in a positive light that I don't think I would feel depending on where I am, obviously, but I don't think I'd feel like any type of uh, uh, I wouldn't have these negative feelings that I'm having right now. So, again, I feel like this topic can definitely correlate with, you know, the main idea of this podcast because it does talk about us in a way as men. We do have feelings and we do want our mental health to be, on par with those who are very positive and happy with their life. We want that too, as just like women want X, Y, and Z, and they expect this and that. We expect this too. We want our mental health to be great. I'm trying to find like the best possible words because like
Right.
it's difficult to it's just difficult to like it's very difficult to say this without trying to sound like a cliche person or someone that doesn't, that keeps on uh, sounding, I guess, bitter in a way. I just want to go ahead and make sure that I have this mental clarity and I'm on this boat to be. I'm trying to bring up all these like examples and these, but I really I just want to leave here, man. I want to get out of here. I want to start a new life someplace else. I I want to see how I would hold up. I want to see how things would change. Because I'm honestly I can drive. I'm driving through Brooklyn lately, and it's like, God damn, like I'm still living here. Fuck, like I'm still here. Yo, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But yeah, that's how I feel, man. I want to be.
Joe,
I want to come back to Brooklyn
Joey,
and visit.
Joey.
I want to come back to Brooklyn and visit. I don't want to come back here to live. Visiting family, I am so down for.
Right.
But living here, oh God, it's like a fucking third job. Like it just drains you. New York
No,
drains you, dude.
I can see that. I mean, again, when I visit, like I after day three, I'm just like, all right, well, that was fun. I'm ready to get out of here again.
And mind you, you've lived here most of your life.
Yeah, yep.
Isn't that fucking crazy? How you told me before that you wanted to leave Miami. Like you don't like it.
Yeah, no, I no, because living in Miami was never the plan. It was I came here for school just to get away from New York. I need that like I'm telling you, I needed that mental break. I needed to be away for a while to appreciate it. It was never the plan. I just ended up procreating here and got myself stuck. It was never the plan. I never liked Florida. I never liked South Florida. I never liked the fact that you need a car before you get a job. I never
Right.
liked any of that crap. Um, but yeah, listen. I wouldn't want to go forever. So you
And
know.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I remember you telling me one time, um, it was never the plan to stay down there. You're not really too fond of it, but here you are telling me that you can come up to New York, visit your family, and like after day 3 or 4, you're like, oh, I can't deal with it no more. So you know exactly what I'm talking about because it's not like the New York that you used to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Definitely not.
different. It's not.
Definitely not.
We grew
Definitely
up.
not.
We met in fucking Brooklyn, and we
Yeah.
worked in the same job, and we had a similar liking when it came to a lot of things. One of our friends that we definitely that I still know to this day, uh, the Zumba master. Uh,
Yes. Yes. Which I
you know
actually, he's
that's
legit. He's legit. So
what's funny. That's somebody. Speaking of this whole topic, that's somebody that always tells me I will never leave Brooklyn ever.
really,
I will never leave Brooklyn. He's like, I am so dead set on staying in Brooklyn that it's my home. And that's okay. I'm not mad at him. He could stay in Brooklyn all he wants. That's
I
fine.
kind of envy him because he has a place where he says he's like, I'm good here. I'm solid here. I'm not going no place.
Well,
You have
also,
you have you have to envy that because I don't have that. I don't have that drive to say I'm locked in somewhere. This is where I want to be. Now let's just build an empire here. I don't have that. So I actually envy that. I
but he,
do.
but he don't want to build an empire, Jay.
No, but that's just me. If you're ambitious, but the fact that you're rooted in somewhere, you're like, that's it. I'm here. Let's see what I can do while I'm here.
Well,
You know.
yeah, yeah. He's a different breed. he definitely, and folks, I'm talking about one of our really good friends that we both have known for actually probably, well, I've probably known him maybe about like 2 years before you met him, but probably pretty much the same amount of time. This guy, he's a dear friend of ours. He's an amazing person.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
right.
he's he's an amazing person. He's actually a Zumba instructor for like I think 5 years already.
Oh my God, this guy's
Maybe
legit.
maybe maybe 5 to 6 years, and he's such a good person.
He's a good
But
Zoom instructor, that's for sure.
he
Those
really
ladies
he's
love
a
him.
oh my
They love
god,
him.
he is so he is so loved in that class, man.
Oh my God. I
Oh
mean,
god.
it's like what I
Oh,
told you. It's like you know somebody, but you don't know them till you see them in their element. Now I know this guy, but I didn't know him until I went. Yes, I when I went to New York, I went to and participated in one of his classes. I made it very clear that the next time I was in New York and that I could make a class, I would go do it. And I honored it. I went and I did it. I was just me and a whole bunch of women. And I've
you
when
know, a
I
whole bunch of women.
when I when I walked in there, like this guy, like he gave me a quick shout out to everybody, then he gets right back into it. And this dude was just in his element. I was so impressed and so shocked. And I was doing I left there with a sweat. I worked my ass off in that class. But the fact is that this man was in his element, and I was like, it's like wow, it's to see somebody in their element, doing their passion, doing what they love. You see them in a totally different light. And so like, oh, I mean, we clown on him for doing Zumba, and I'll still clown on him for doing Zumba, but there'll be so much respect behind the clowning because I saw the man in his element, and it was glorious. It was magnanimous. I have to be honest with you. If you can use those words for Zumba, but don't. It's not the Zumba thing. It's the fact that he was in his element, and I saw a different side of him that I've never seen before, ever. It was
I
pure
I'm
professional.
I'm so happy you went to
Yeah.
that class because he's been telling that he wanted you to go to that class for a while. And again, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, he is a Zumba instructor. This guy has literally, he's the epitome of the story of from the bottom to the top when it comes to that something that he loves. He never had any interest of dancing or like even doing or like exercise dancing at that.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Never had any interest in it. Got introduced to it. Now ends up fucking being an instructor.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is
It really
crazy.
is. It is crazy. And now he has like he has a lot of he actually has a lot of fans. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
fans. I mean,
Oh
mind
yeah.
you, they're all old Russian women, but hey, they're fans of fans, right? So
Listen, exactly. You can't beggars can't be choosers.
so yeah, I know for a fact that someone like him is very content to where he's at. It's a really good feeling to know that you can feel that way,
Right.
be content and be happy. That is cool. But for other people such as myself, I don't feel that way. I feel trapped at times.
That's
Um,
deep.
and it is deep. But you know what though? I have to be honest. I've been watching. I wanted to tell you this actually too. I've been watching. I mean, you know Anthony Bourdain, right? The late great Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah.
the chef and the guy who was okay. So I've been watching a lot of his Unknown Parts show,
Mhm.
and it was like 12 seasons. This guy's been all around the world, literally every fucking place. Um, and I've been watching a lot of it, and that show and his travels and his experiences has kind of lit a fire up my ass, as to
Okay.
say, when it comes to like traveling and moving around. Um, I I'm 33 years old, and
Allegedly.
I allegedly, um, allegedly, really, I'm 33 years old, and and I feel like there is so much more to do, so much more to see. And I know, again, that may sound very, very cliche because there's a bunch of people right now probably saying, yeah, I agree with you. I want to live my life and see the world.
Treat
And
yourself.
treat yourself. Exactly. Treat yourself. Oh, Rita and fucking whatever his name was from Parks and Rec. I forgot. Um, but there really is. There's so much more that I want. There's so much more that I want to see. And watching his show and meeting the people that he met. Of course, he had money and he was famous at that point, and he was able to do certain things and go certain places that normal people wouldn't. But just seeing that he went to these places and
Right.
experienced this, and I'm watching it through a fucking television. It's like it kind of makes me feel like shit. I really don't now. I definitely don't want to stay in New York all my life.
Right.
And even if I was staying in New York and I was traveling, I'd still probably feel somewhat miserable because I'd have to come back to New York. So,
Okay. Okay. I see
you
what
know
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, so to me, maybe, excuse me, maybe traveling is a scapegoat
Right.
to not being here and going to,
You could consider traveling to be like a palate cleanser. You know the idea.
right. Yeah.
It'll cleanse your palate so that you can
Yeah.
come back and kind of reappreciate the meal again, which would be reappreciate coming back to New York at least for a little bit. Then you go out, you go away again, clear the palate, come back. So I could say vacationing is like a palate cleanser, of sorts
And,
for the brain maybe.
and yeah, actually, you kind of like nailed it on the head right there when it comes to that. That's a perfect analogy when it comes to traveling for me. I feel like it is a palate cleanser. It does help me when I come back. I do feel a little bit better, but again, I feel the 50-50 point. The side of it is that what I feel better at one point, and then the other side is like I do feel like shit. I'm back on the Bell Parkway again. You know,
Yep.
coming off from the JFK, I'm back on the Bell Parkway as opposed to let's just say maybe I moved someplace else and I did the same thing. Maybe I wouldn't feel that way. Maybe I'd feel much happier coming back to where I live if I had moved out of here. The whole point I'm trying to make throughout this entire podcast, and I know that we're not talking about like specifics when it comes to being nice guys, but I feel like if overall if you want to take care of your mental health, whether you are
Right.
a man or woman, and if you're single or in a relationship, please, you know, please use this time that you have on this planet to ensure that your happiness is priority. Even if you are in a committed relationship, you cannot you cannot pretty much you can't be happy with the person if you're not happy with yourself. If you're not happy with yourself,
Reach it, brother.
if you're not, and it's true. If you're not happy with yourself, there's no way in the world, and I can put all the money that I fucking have, guarantee you will not be happy in that relationship. You need to you need to secure your mental health to ensure that it's at its peak, and you need to feel comfortable. Not, well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess comfortable in a way where you can honestly sit there and say, "Hey, I'm at a good place right now in my life, and nothing is going to change that." But that all starts with you having to, change your mentality and have your and again this term mental health. I say that I've been saying this a lot this entire podcast because it's very important
Of
that
course.
what I'm saying, whether you're in a relationship or not, and whether you're dating or not, it's very important to secure your mental health. Having a fucked up mentality and you're about to date the world, you're not gonna make it that far. You're not. You're gonna fuck up every single time. You're probably gonna date the same loser. So it's gonna be a reoccurrence over and over again. So
Yep.
it's gonna be a reoccurrence. Oh, so I feel like that's the number one priority. And for me at this point in my life, because I'm in a committed relationship and because I'm slated to get married and all that happy stuff, I feel like I feel like I feel like it's very important to ensure that as an individual, as a man, that I am extremely happy with myself and where I want to be in life and where I'm at. And that's why I bring up the whole moving bit because it's time at this point in my life to be at a place physically, meaning, not New York, physically where I can come home and be in a place where I'm truly happy. I feel excited to come home because right now I don't feel that way, and I haven't been feeling that way for a very long time. And I'm sharing this with you, Jay, and I'm sharing this with the audience because um, I want I'm hoping that even this, even though this might be an example that people probably won't relate to, or maybe they will. It all comes down to the fact that mentally, I kind of want to have more. I want to have more.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And
So
that's actually a great way to end this podcast. So Joe's cry for help aside, that's a perfect way to end this podcast. I like that, and then it's funny because, and it's funny, you guys can tell that when it's my topic, I do more talking, and when it's Joe's topic, he does more talking because these topics. No, it's true though. The previous episode, I did most of the talking, and this episode, you did most of the talking because these topics, even though we relate to them, um, it's what we feel in our heart, and so we have so much to say about it, and we each understand that sometimes a monologue is all you need. You don't really need a dialogue. Sometimes you just need to sit there and listen, and that's part of the way this podcast is. This podcast is to entertain you guys, to give you guys an insight on star-crossed friends, but also it's therapy for us just to have a discussion and talk about it, to throw it out to the universe and see who of you are listening, who can relate, who can empathize, then have a dialogue or discussion. So that was really good. That was really deep, Joe. So I want to say thank you for sharing that with me and the audience. And I guess I'd like to say to the audience, thank you again for your time. This is the Last of Nice Guys podcast, and we've got plenty more going on. Joe, final thoughts?
Man, just secure that bag.
Thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.